Hi, I'm Emiliana. I've always been the reasonable one in my family. The peacekeeper, the compromiser, the one who goes with the flow. That's probably why, when my mom suggested we all skip Christmas gifts this year to focus on togetherness instead of materialism, I was the first to agree. It makes perfect sense. I told her over the phone 3 weeks before Christmas. We're all trying to save money anyway. Exactly, honey. Mark's been complaining about the kids' school expenses, and you just bought that condo. It'll be a relief for everyone. Mom's voice had that satisfied tone she gets when her ideas are validated. Just food, family, and festivities, no pressure. I already bought you a small something, I admitted, but I can return it. Oh, you absolutely should. We all agreed, no exceptions. I already told Mark and Denise, and they're on board too. I returned the cashmere scarf I'd bought her and felt good about it. Adult Christmases should be about togetherness anyway, right? When I arrived at Mom's house on Christmas morning, the living room looked normal enough. Mom's famous cinnamon rolls waited on the dining table, and carols played softly in the background. My brother Mark, his wife Denise, and their kids, 10-year-old twins Aiden and Zoe, arrived shortly after me. Emmy! The twins rushed to hug me. I adored those kids, despite their parents' tendency to spoil them rotten. Hey, Munchkins! Merry Christmas! You won't believe what Santa brought us, Zoe whispered loudly. Mark cleared his throat. Let's wait until after breakfast, kids. Mom bustled in from the kitchen. Everyone's here. Perfect timing. The eggs are just done. Breakfast was the usual chaos of passing dishes and catching up. I noticed a pile of wrapped presents under the tree, but assumed they were all for the twins from Santa. That made sense. The no gifts rule was for adults only. After breakfast, Mom clapped her hands. Present time! The twins raced to the tree, and Mom began distributing gifts. This one's for Zoe from Grandma. This is for Aiden from Grandma. Wait, from Grandma? I exchanged glances with Tasha, my roommate from college who joined us for holidays since her family lived overseas. I thought we weren't doing gifts this year, I said quietly to her. Tasha raised her eyebrows. Apparently, that rule has exceptions. The twins tore through package after package, clothes, toys, books. Then came the grand finale. And these special ones, Mom announced with theatrical flair, are from Grandma and Grandpa to our amazing grandchildren. The twins unwrapped identical boxes to reveal brand new iPads, top-of-the-line models with custom cases. Oh my God! Zoe screamed. This is the exact one I wanted! Look, it has my name engraved on it. Aiden held his up proudly. My stomach dropped. My brother avoided my eyes, suddenly very interested in helping the twins open their packages. We all agreed not to do gifts this year, my mom said, noticing my expression. She waved dismissively. But the grandkids are different. They'd be devastated without presents from Santa and Grandma. Tasha squeezed my arm in silent support as the twins continued opening more gifts from their parents. I need some air, I whispered to Tasha, slipping out to the porch while everyone fussed over the twins' haul. Tasha followed me. That was something. They're literally unwrapping iPads after we all agreed not to do gifts. My voice shook slightly, and Mom's acting like I'm being unreasonable for being surprised. You're not being unreasonable, Tasha said firmly. That was messed up. My phone buzzed with a text from my cousin Leah. How's the no-gift Christmas going? Wait, you knew? I asked Leah over coffee the next day. We'd met at our favorite cafe downtown, and I'd just finished explaining what happened. Leah stirred her latte awkwardly. They pull this every year with you. Last year, it was no birthday celebrations right before they threw Mark that surprise party, remember? That was different. He was turning 40. And the year before, it was simple Thanksgiving dishes only until your mom made Mark's favorite 7-layer chocolate cake while you brought the requested green beans? Leah's voice was gentle but firm. I love Aunt Patricia, but she has different rules for you and Mark. I sat back, memories flooding in. The family vacation where I paid my own airfare while Mom covered Mark's. The everyone bring a side dish Thanksgiving where Mom had secretly prepared Mark's contribution. I thought I was imagining things, I whispered. You weren't. Leah reached for my hand. Your mom has always favored Mark. Most of us have noticed, but no one wants to say anything. My phone rang. It was Aunt Clara, my dad's sister. After Dad passed 5 years ago, she'd become my rock. Emiliana, darling, how was Christmas? Her warm voice came through the speaker. It was interesting, I replied. Actually, can I come by later? I could use some advice. 3 hours later, I sat in Aunt Clara's cozy living room, recounting the iPad incident while she knitted. Aunt Clara's needles clicked rhythmically. And this isn't the first time? Apparently not. Leah says it's been happening for years and everyone knows except me. Your father noticed it too, Aunt Clara said quietly. Patricia always had a soft spot for Mark. Your father tried to balance it out by spending extra time with you. So Dad knew Mom favored Mark? My voice cracked. Your mother doesn't see it that way. She'd say Mark needs more help, more attention. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and Mark has always been squeakier. Aunt Clara set her knitting down. The question is, what do you want to do about it now that you see the pattern? I don't know. Confront her? Ignore it? Cut them all off and move to Bali? I attempted a laugh that came out more like a sob. Those are all options, Aunt Clara said. But before you decide, talk to your mother. Not to change her, people rarely change, but so you know you've spoken your truth. Later that evening, I called my friend Raj, who worked as a family therapist. I don't want to blow up my family, I explained after telling him everything. But I can't unsee this now. You shouldn't have to, Raj said firmly. Look, family dynamics are complicated, but what you're describing sounds like a long-standing pattern of differential treatment. What would you tell a client in my situation? I'd suggest setting clear boundaries and expressing how this makes you feel, using I statements. Raj's professional tone softened. But as your friend, I'll say what you probably need to hear. You deserve better, and it's okay to demand it. You think I should confront them? I think you should express yourself honestly. That's different from confrontation. Raj paused. And I think you should prepare for them to deny, deflect, or dismiss your feelings. I hung up and stared at the ceiling for a long time. Then I texted my mom. Can we talk tomorrow? Just the two of us? Her reply came quickly. Of course, honey. Everything okay? We'll discuss tomorrow. Your house, 11 a.m.? Mom's kitchen smelled like cinnamon and coffee when I arrived the next morning. She was baking. Her stress response. There's my girl. She wiped her hands on her apron. Coffee's fresh. Thanks. I took a deep breath. Mom, we need to talk about Christmas. Oh? She busied herself with the coffee maker. Wasn't it lovely? The twins were so excited. We agreed not to exchange gifts. My voice was steadier than I expected. But then you gave the twins iPads and said they were from you and Dad? Mom waved dismissively. That was for the kids, Emiliana, you understand. What I understand is that we made an agreement and you broke it. And according to Leah and Aunt Clara, this isn't the first time there's been one rule for me and another for Mark. The kitchen fell silent except for the ticking of the rooster clock on the wall. That's ridiculous. Mom's voice hardened. I don't play favorites. You do, though. The birthday parties, the family vacations, the holiday meals. There's always an exception for Mark. Never for me. Mark has children. This isn't about the twins. It's about how you treat us differently. It's about how you told me to return the gift I bought you because we all agreed, while you were secretly shopping for everyone else. That's not fair, Emiliana. Mom's eyes flashed. Mark's struggling financially. Mark makes twice what I do, and I just bought a condo, which you know strained my savings. The doorbell rang and Mom jumped to answer it. Mark stood there, looking uncomfortable. You called him? I asked incredulously. I thought we should discuss this as a family, Mom replied. Mark entered cautiously. What's going on? Emiliana is upset about Christmas gifts, Mom explained before I could speak. That's not... I started. Look, Em, Mark interrupted. I didn't know Mom was getting the kids iPads. That was her call. This isn't just about the iPads, I said. It's about the pattern. Mom tells me one thing and you another. She holds me to agreements she doesn't hold you to. That's not true, Mom interjected. It is true, I insisted. Last Thanksgiving, last birthday, the family vacation. You're being dramatic, Mom said. Mark needs more help sometimes. Why? I demanded. Because he complains more? Because he's your favorite? Don't talk to Mom that way, Mark warned. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm stating facts. I turned back to Mom. I love you, but this hurts. It's always hurt. And I'm tired of pretending it doesn't. I can't believe you're making such a big deal over Christmas presents, Mom said, tears welling. After everything I do for you, this isn't about the presents. It's about the double standard. It's about you telling me we're not exchanging gifts while you're literally shopping for everyone else. The twins are children. They expect Santa. The iPads weren't from Santa. You said they were from you and Dad. Mark shifted uncomfortably. Look, Em, maybe Mom does treat us differently sometimes, but she doesn't mean anything by it. Intent doesn't change impact, I said quietly. And the impact is that I feel less valued, less important. That's absurd, Mom snapped. You've always been independent, never needed anything. Because I knew asking wouldn't work. I learned early that Mark's needs came first. The silence that followed was deafening. I think, I said finally, that I need some space. I love you both, but I need time to figure out what kind of relationship works for me going forward. You're overreacting, Mom said, but her voice had lost its edge. I'm responding to years of feeling second best. I corrected her. And I deserve better. I walked to the door, pausing with my hand on the knob. When you're ready to acknowledge what's happening and work on changing it, I'm here. But I won't keep participating in a dynamic that hurts me. 3 weeks passed. My phone buzzed occasionally with texts from Mom. Casual messages about the weather, a sale at my favorite store, as if nothing had happened. Mark sent one awkward message. Mom's pretty upset. Can't you just let this go? I didn't respond to either of them. Instead, I threw myself into redecorating my condo, with frequent advice sessions from Tasha and Raj. You holding up okay? Tasha asked one evening as we painted my living room a soothing sage green. Better than expected, I admitted. It's like, once I said it all out loud, this weight lifted. Whether they change or not, I know I'm not crazy. My doorbell rang at that moment. Aunt Clara stood outside holding a plant. Housewarming gift, she announced, though you've been here 3 months already. Thanks for coming. I hugged her tightly. You've met Tasha, right? While Tasha made tea, Aunt Clara surveyed my half-painted walls. Looking good. How are you feeling about everything else? Lighter, I said. Sad, but lighter. Your mom called me yesterday, Aunt Clara said. She's confused, hurt, but also thinking. Thinking is good, I offered. She asked if I thought she favored Mark. Aunt Clara accepted the tea Tasha handed her. I told her the truth, that she has for years, whether she meant to or not. How'd she take that? About as well as you'd expect. Denied it at first, then got quiet. Aunt Clara sipped her tea. Seeds planted need time to grow, Emiliana. 2 days later, my phone rang with Mom's number. Hello? I answered cautiously. Emiliana. Mom's voice sounded different, hesitant. Can we talk? In person? We met at a neutral location, a quiet cafe downtown. Mom looked smaller somehow, older. I've been thinking about what you said, she began after ordering coffee. About treating you and Mark differently. I waited, not making it easier for her. I talked to Clara and to my friend Susan, whose daughter hasn't spoken to her in years. Mom fidgeted with her napkin. And I looked back at some things. Christmas, the vacation, other occasions. And, I prompted when she fell silent, and I see a pattern I didn't want to see before. Her eyes met mine, genuinely regretful. You were right, Emiliana. I've held you to different standards than Mark. I've expected more from you because you've always been so capable. Being capable doesn't mean I don't need support, I said quietly. Or fairness. I know that now. Mom reached for my hand. I can't promise I'll change overnight. These patterns are decades old, but I'm aware now, and I want to do better. What does doing better look like to you? I asked. Being conscious of my decisions, checking myself when I make exceptions, listening when you tell me something feels unfair. She squeezed my hand. And maybe family therapy if you're willing. It wasn't a perfect apology, but it was honest. And it was a start. A week later, we had our first family session with Dr. Mendez. Mark came reluctantly, but he came. So we're here because Emiliana feels she's treated unfairly, he summarized, clearly expecting a quick resolution. We're here, Dr. Mendez corrected, because your family has patterns that aren't working anymore. Everyone contributes to those patterns, and everyone can help change them. By the end of the session, even Mark had acknowledged some truths. I guess I do expect Mom to bail me out, he admitted. And maybe that's not fair to you, Em. Outside after therapy, Mom hugged me tightly. I'm trying, she whispered. I know, I said. That's all I can ask. Later that evening, Tasha and I sat on my newly painted porch. So, reconciliation? She asked. After all that? Not reconciliation, I corrected. Evolution. We're building something new, not returning to what was. And if they slip back into old patterns? I thought about this as I watched the sunset paint my neighborhood gold. Then I'll have the strength to either address it again or walk away knowing I tried. I turned to her. But either way, I won't go back to pretending. That's a gift I've given myself. Better than an iPad, Tasha quipped. Much better, I agreed, clinking my glass against hers. To speaking your truth, whatever comes after. Have you ever had to confront a family pattern that wasn't working anymore? What happened afterward?